Here we go. So, guys, I want to talk to you about Unlimited today, and there is a general feeling that Unlimited is just generally the most toxic game mode. I know the majority of 2K players don't play it at all. I think something like 15 to 20% of 2K players actually play Unlimited, and there's a few reasons for that, and it's actually quite a big shame because Unlimited, if you do it right, if you play it the right way and play it with the right mindset, is easily the most fun and rewarding mode on my team. And it's not close. It really is the most fun mode, but it's been set up to be really toxic. And I know a lot of people have a fear, I've spoken to quite a few people recently, almost have a fear of running into this mode and just having a bad time on it, and therefore they just don't touch it. I was that guy last season. I did want to play Unlimited, and it's changed this year. Last year I went 12-0 every month. And, I posted, my first video on this channel was how an average player goes 12-0. I was average. This year, it's an entirely different thing because even as sweaty and toxic as it was last year, now you've got your kind of record exposed, and we all know that this entire community is just driven by ego. And when I say toxic, it's really bad at times. But I want to give you 5 sort of bits of guidance and advice that will probably get you playing Unlimited a lot more, and actually just see how much of a fun game mode it is and how rewarding it can be. So the first thing is to set realistic expectations. I'm going to touch on this stuff later, but I think the majority of 2K players think that anyone who plays Unlimited has a 90% win record, they're all amazing, they never miss a shot. There's reasons that these things happen, but either way, I'll get into that stuff in a second. You need to decide what you're happy with. Last year I considered myself an average player. When I say average, I mean 50-50. Maybe just above average. So I was like, this year, to really get into this mode and to enjoy it, I need to create a space where I don't set myself up to just constantly be disappointed. If you set your goal as a 95% win ratio and to get, the Galaxy Opal 12-0 reward within 70 games, you're not giving yourself the space to lose games. And if you don't give yourself the space to lose games, every time you lose a game, it will be really upsetting. So you've got to avoid setting yourself up from your own expectations to make this a more toxic mode than it needs to be. The community is toxic. So, if you go online and you post a 30-40% win record, you will get roasted for it. The funny thing is, 50% of people who play this game have to have a record that's lower than 50%. So I'm going to say confidently right now that 80 to 85% of people that play 2K on Unlimited have a record of somewhere between sort of 35 and 65%. I would say that's where the sort of standard is. I know people last year who were going 12-0 non-stop, and they literally can't win a game. A friend of mine is actually 1-13 on Unlimited right now, and he got Oscar Robertson last year. So decide what works for you. That's all that matters. I set myself a goal of having a 60 to 65% win ratio. If I could win 2 out of 3 games, I'm really happy about that. So if I lose a game, I don't get stressed out. I also decided that I want to get to the diamond board and see what happens after that. I think even getting to the diamond board for me it's going to be a challenge, and I'll be happy when I get there. I won't be a person who's just going, I'm definitely going to go 12-0. So when I get to the diamond board, or if I get there, I don't even acknowledge it as a successful moment. So don't set yourself up to be disappointed and feel really bad every time you lose a game. Now, the next thing is don't get put off by how bad the game is. What I mean by that is the lag in the UK is making Unlimited unplayable. Honestly, it is. Last year it was like a half a second to a second delay. It could be 2-3 seconds at times. I played a game yesterday where Larry Johnson 6 times ran off the court at an open dunk because just the button didn't register. Now that could be the server, it could be my own internet, it could be a whole host of things that is making that happen. Now when a game like that happens, and especially when you shift algo into the mix, and if you don't know what algo is, it's when your players are in quicksand, you can't make a shot, your opponent's making everything. You should know what algo is by now, it's a very real thing. When all of those things happen together in a game, it can make you just put the controller down and not play again. It's just something you have to adjust to. The more you play, the more you will adjust to the lag. The algo is pretty much nothing you can do about it. And the thing with algo is as well, it does swing back and forth. So you will win games because of it. You will lose games because of it. And it's really important to accept when you lose a game because of skill. Don't always make an excuse. There are games that you will lose because of the game. Maybe it's lag, maybe it's algo, whatever. But I lost a game the other day that I definitely should have won. I just went cold from 3. My timing was off. I had adjusted to the lag, even with whatever 2 seconds it was. But my shooting was just off. I was being really weird and, you know, I was stressing out while I was playing the game, which I'm going to talk about later. So I just didn't play well and I lost the game. There's no, you know, you should be embarrassed by that. Why is that embarrassing to lose one game in 2K? Some people will put so much stock in a game that they're throwing their controllers, are getting angry, all of this stuff. It's fine. You're going to lose games. It's just part of what we do. But don't let the sort of gameplay bother you to the point where you stop playing it, because again, the more you play, the more you'll adjust and the better you'll get at it. So just keep playing until you adjust to the gameplay. Now the third thing is run whatever squad and whatever tactics you want. Listen, if one of my biggest pieces of advice here is just stay off social media. Just stay off it entirely. It is the most, I don't think I've seen a more toxic place than the 2K community on social media. I'm not exaggerating. It's horrendous. And it doesn't matter what you post, someone will have something to say about it. So let me give you an example of like overall glitching, right? People got an opinion on that. Oh, you shouldn't do that, it's cheating. It doesn't matter. If you're enjoying the game and it's giving you some level of success, do what you want to do. Don't care what anyone else thinks. Because that same person that's criticizing you for overall glitching is also criticizing people that are running 10-man God squads for spending too much money. They're just elitists. They're idiots, to be honest. They are people that would just criticize regardless of what you do, and they're just convinced their strategy is amazing. So the best thing you can do is not post anything online, because it's no one else's business. And two, if they do comment on it, just ignore it. Don't acknowledge it. Just do what you want to do in the game, however you want to approach it. 5-man, 10-man, you know, a 70 overall lineup, whatever you want to do is fine. The one thing I would say is try to avoid like the crazy glitching where you're playing bots and stuff, because it's not enjoyable. Enjoyment has to come first. So that's the one bit of advice I would give you. I know I only found out recently that people can do that, but just stay away from that. It's not fun. It's not going to make you better at the game. So just try to evolve and do whatever sort of strategy or tactics that you want to do. It's entirely up to you, no one else. Now, the fourth thing is don't let people trick you into thinking that everyone is a god at the game and therefore somehow you're bad at it. This is really important. I said earlier at the start of this video that the first video I posted was how an average player goes 12-0 in 2K. I am an average player. I might be just above average now. That's roughly where I sit. But I'm no different to any other YouTuber. There are a handful that are really elite at this game. And it's really funny this year because the one thing that the kind of win ratio has done is it's exposed a lot of these YouTubers. And a lot of people have gone quiet on Facebook. All those people that were playing unlimited games non-stop on their stream, you know, on their videos last year, are now just doing the XP agenda board, things like that. The reason is because they were never that good at the game. They only posted highlights of their successful games, the ones where they shot 10 for 10 from 3. They didn't post the game where they shot 3 for 20 from 3. Why would they show you that? That's not on brand. So you just saw clip after clip after clip of a lot of these YouTubers just posting videos looking like they were absolute gods at the game. And they look quite similar to you in the way that they play. So you're like, all right, so I'm as good as them. Why am I not winning every game? They weren't winning every game. You just couldn't see their record last year. There are two that off the top of my head, really high profile YouTubers right now that have a win record of less than 50%. They have made a living for 10 years of posting videos saying they're elite at this game. Now, I'm not criticizing them for being at under 50%. The point I'm making is, don't let them trick you into thinking that there are people, like the majority of people on this game, just are lights out everything that they do. That they're lockdown defenders, that they never miss a 3, all of this. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And social media is just as bad, just as toxic, just as deceiving. You know, there are people that post every 2 minutes about they've got to this level on the XP agenda board, whatever. There's very few posts you'd see about Unlimited. But the ones that you will see on Unlimited are just when they've had a good game. You know, they'll post select highlights. If they have a bad record, if they go on a bad run, you know, 10 losses in a row, which certainly could happen to me, and it could certainly happen to you, they're not going to post that. They're only going to post the stuff that's good. So don't let people trick you into thinking that the majority of players on this game are gods. They've all got amazing records. They'll just post whatever they're good at the time. If they've got a bad Unlimited record, they'll post the XP agenda board. You know, if they're behind on the XP, they'll post Unlimited. If they're behind on everything, they'll post about Limited and the fact that they got the ring. Just ignore it. It's just, you know, there's people just peacocking and trying to look like they're amazing at a game. The vast majority of people are not amazing at this game. Let's be really clear on that. 1 to 2%. Some of them are YouTubers. DBG is good at the game. You know, Ty Debo's incredible at the game. He's a global champion. I think Moss Balling's really good at the game. Outside of that, you know, you've got people who are good, but they're not 90-95% win ratio guys. And like I said, a lot of them have been exposed. And the final thing is to relax and enjoy the game. I had this moment. I told you last season I was just feeling really weird about, you know, playing unlimited. I didn't like the fact that the ratio was there because I was like, if I've got a bad ratio, it was less about posting online. There is pressure when, you know, you're posting your ratio in videos and stuff. There is that pressure there, but it wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't care if I had a 30% win ratio if that's just where I was at in the game. It's not something I could be upset about. But it would bother me in the sense that I don't want to look at that. You know, I don't want to load in and just see that I've got a 30% win ratio because it's quite defeating. So I was really reluctant to play the game. I think I only played 7 unlimited games last season, and yeah, I think I was 5-2, I think was the result. But I had this anxiety, and I think this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people have this. This is what I've realised recently. There's this anxiety that you're not sure if you want to even load into the game in case you take an L. And then you load into the game and you start stressing about the lineup you might come up against or the opponent you might come up against. And then sometimes that stress can just last the entire game. And you know, you made it a really unenjoyable experience. If you get your head around the fact that losses just don't matter, it really doesn't matter. It means nothing to anyone if you lose a game on Unlimited. The only person it should matter to is you, and you've got to decide how you feel about that. But as soon as you remove that, there's a couple of things. One, you'll enjoy the game more, and two, you'll be better at the game. So I spoke to you about a game that I lost. That, you know, I went 3. I think I went 3 for 15 or something from 3. I mean, I could not have shot the ball any worse. I lost that game because of me. It wasn't algo. It wasn't anything. The lag was there, but I'd adjusted to it. I lost that game because I stressed out. I missed a few threes in a row, and I got really annoyed. I was like, oh, why his shots are going in, mine aren't, blah, blah, blah. I should know better than that. What happened is I got so stressed that I started missing threes because I was stressed after that. I lost that game by 3 points, by the way. If one of those threes had gone in, it would have been overtime. I literally threw the game away because I stressed myself out so much. So I'm going to be really disciplined now about not getting stressed. Unlimited is a contest. It's 1 versus 1. You should just enjoy the contest. It shouldn't be about winning. Just play the game and enjoy playing the game. You know, every basketball game you watch, you know, if you're watching 2 neutral teams play, your entire mood for the rest of the week isn't defined by one of those teams winning. That's the mentality we have with 2K. It's like literally can define your entire mood. So that's everything. You know, if you just care less about winning, if you play whatever tactics you want, if you stop being controlled by 2 things really, your emotions when you lose a game and other people's judgments and influence. If you take those 2 things out of the equation, this is by far the most fun game mode. It's way more fun than grinding out XP. It's way more fun than playing limited every weekend. Everything about the game is more fun. It's 2 people in a contest to see who can win that game. It's not about who's better, because you could have a good game and win that game. It's just about who can win that game. It's a good tactical battle. It is chess. You know, it's a high IQ version, you know, mode on this game. There's so many good things about Unlimited, and not to mention the rewards are by far the best rewards in this game. Just going up levels, you're accumulating so much. So if you are someone who's nervous about playing Unlimited, if you stress about it, if it's not a game mode that you're focusing on because of fear of judgment, fear of losing, whatever it is, play the game mode more. It's by far the most fun mode on this game. That's all for now, guys. I've got one video coming up in a couple of days, and then I'm going to take a break for a month or so. I'm waiting for next gen. We're going to do a rebrand. We might even get some face cam going. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys.